up working on crop machines back in Alabama.
Because of the drought, we have no work.
Both our parents died, her mother of a heart attack and her father in a work-related accident.
We're heading to California because we've heard all the jobs available.
We have high expectations waiting for us in California. We support California, and we're hoping there's a better life waiting for us there.
We've heard that there's
It's full of the tools we use to fix the crop machines. It's also full of the literary devices, elements, and techniques. Here's a mallet. It represents Ma Jode, Jim Casey, and Rose of Sharon.
Tom, the family is breaking up. You gotta keep clear. Ma Jode is extremely dedicated to her family. She devotes herself to protecting the unity of her family.
Jim Casey states, Casey put his chin down in his hands. Maybe I can't tell you, he said. Maybe you gotta find out. Casey left Tom with his ideas and theories about life, which had a major impact on Tom. Tom changed his perspective about life because of Jim Casey.
side of the blanket and bared her breast. "You've got to," she said. "There," she said. "There." Her hand moved behind his and supported it. Her fingers moved gently in his hair. She looked up across the barn, and her lips came together and smiled mysteriously. This specific quote symbolizes that there is hope of a better life. Rose of Sharon shows a sense of hopefulness.
Here's a hammer. It represents the triad: people, machinery, and animals. 3 examples are the tractor, the turtle, and the dog.
Tractors came over the roads and into the fields, great crawlers moving like insects, having the incredible strength of insects. Another quote was snub-nosed monsters raising their dust and sticking their snouts into it. The tractors cannot be controlled because they are tools the greedy banks use to gain money. To the people's eyes, they see and refer tractors as monsters.
As the embankment grew steeper and steeper, the more frantic were the efforts of the turtle. The turtle is a reflection of how resilient the migrant people were. When the turtle gets hit by a car and gets turned on its back, it still continues to keep on moving forward. Just like the Jode family, who also encountered harsh trials, kept moving forward just like the turtle.
The car was near. Tires squealed. The dog dodged helplessly and, with a shriek, cut off in the middle and went under the wheels. The big car showed for a moment, and the faces looked back, and then it gathered greater speed and disappeared. The death of the dog foreshadows the hard times the Jodes came across during their journey.
Here's a wrench. It represents illusions. 3 illusions are Rose of Sharon, Jim Casey, and Noah Jode.
Side of the blanket and bared her breast. She looked up and across the barn, and her lips came together and smiled mysteriously. Rose of Sharon alludes to Jesus in this quote. The breast feeds the dying man, which symbolizes hope and resurrection. In the Bible, Jesus was brought back to life, just as the old man was.
He states, I got tired like him, and I went into the wilderness like him, with no camping stuff. Jim Casey, their initials are the same. In the end, he was murdered just as Jesus was. Throughout the novel, he is seen as the Christ figure.
Noah in the Bible. For one, they have the same name. The fact that there was a flood in both stories illustrates the illusion. In the quote, Noah watches his family pack up, like in the Bible, when Noah and his family boarded the ark.
Here's a flathead screwdriver. It represents the themes of the novel: discrimination, unity, and pride.
He turned back to them. Might be a good idea to go, he said. Then smile was back on his face. Board of Health says we gotta clean out this camp. And if it gets around that you got reds out here, why somebody might get hurt. The theme is discrimination because all the people that live out in these camps are kicked out because they're so-called reds. Reds are also seen as Okies, or people without no class.
and it don't matter. Then I'll be all around in the dark. I'll be everywhere you look. Wherever there's a fight or hungry people can eat, I'll be there. If cats leave no wide, I'll be in the way. Guys yell when they're mad, and I'll be in the way kids laugh. When they're hungry and they know supper's ready, and when our folks eat the stuff they raise, and we in the houses they build, why I'll be. The theme is unity, because no matter where the Jodes were, they would be with each other, even though they weren't realistically there. For example, Tom constantly said, I'll be there, to reassure Ma that they would always be together.
Right about it. Sure, I've been in McAllister. Been there 4 years. Sure, these are the clothes they give me when I come out. I don't give a damn who knows it, and I'm going to my old man's place so I don't have to lie to get a job. The theme is pride, which is one of the things that the Jodes were very strong about, especially because Tom wasn't ashamed of his past, and he would be defensive and tell them the truth and not to be ashamed. For example, I don't give a damn. He has lots of pride, and even in his past. And this is the crest wrench, which represents philosophical ideology. The examples are and pragmatism.
Sin and there ain't no virtue. There's just stuff people do. It's all a part of the same thing. Jim Casey was a great example as humanistic because he thinks of others and how the world works. His theories are all based on humanism.
I figured about the Holy Spirit and Jesus wrote. I figured, why do we got to hang it on God or Jesus? Maybe I figured it's all men and all women who we love. Again, Jim Casey's beliefs all connect and have the same thing. He expresses how the Spirit works.
I ain't a picker. I got to get a car. I went to California. I got to get a car. The school reveals how much Tom Jode won't settle for less. He goes with what
Lastly, these are the flyers represent symbolism. 3 examples are the grapes, the turtle, and California.
I'm gonna pick me a wash tub full of grapes, and I'm gonna see 'em and scrooge around and let the juice down my pants. The grapes symbolize peace and harmony. The grapes are constantly brought up as a positive symbol of the grand life that they thought was waiting for them in California.
The driver saw the turtle and swerved to hit it. His front wheel struck the edge of the shell, flipped the turtle like tiddywink, but at last its legs waved in the air, reaching for something to pull it over. Its front legs caught a piece of quartz, and little by little, the shell pulled over. The turtle symbolizes Tom Jode. They both meet hard times on their journey, but they continue to travel. Tom and the turtle both are determined.
But I like to think how nice it's going to be, maybe in California. Never cold, and fruit every place. And people just being the nicest places, little white houses and among the orange trees. California represents paradise, or a promised land. Everyone talks of California as if it is perfection waiting for them.
Look! Grapes!
Finally made it to California!
Already recording, but... So your name?
Team Smiles. Team Smiles.
Jesse Miles.
We've heard really good things about California, and we really hope there's a better life waiting for us there.
No, still on the ground. Sorry.